Yo, what up y'all? What is going down? I told y'all I was gonna make a video about my experience in Thailand. This whole trip was crazy, man. Let me get straight to the point because this is gonna be a long story. So let's go. So April 8th is my birthday. I've been planning a trip for my birthday. I've been thinking about doing something special for like a year now. Initially I was going to Africa. I was telling everybody a good 9-10 months in advance. Things didn't really pan out, so I ended up just making a planned trip to go to Thailand with one other person. So that time is coming or whatever. We got our tickets booked. We got everything we need as far as the activities and things like that. We got swimsuits, speedos, flippers, you name it, we got it. We do the research of what we're gonna be doing there. I booked this nice, giant, lavish Airbnb. Everything is like looking very good. I've been looking forward to this trip for a good 6 months, man. Like every day I would come home from work and just look at different things about Phuket, Thailand that I could do. We had plans to ride elephants, pet tigers, wakeboarding, jet ski, you name it. It was on our agenda to do. Eat exotic seafood, swim with exotic fish. This was about to be the most epic birthday. This is pretty much a fire festival story, just to keep it 100 with y'all. So anyways, the Friday before my birthday comes up, it's the 5th, April 5th. I'm leaving out to, the plan was to, because we had a layover in China, in Shanghai. So we made that layover extra long, so because the flight that we were supposed to connect to, we made that flight the next day. So we wanted to spend the day up in Shanghai so we can kind of get two trips in one in a way. Because I really never wanted to go to China, but I'm like, well, since I'm here, let me just mess around, do a little shopping, take some pictures, and we can get kind of a 2-for-1 deal. So the day comes, it's Friday, I get off work. Not to mention, I got this little weird cough I've been having 2 days out of nowhere. Like, out of the past 2 days before the 5th, I had this weird cough out of nowhere. I'm not a sickly person though, so I really didn't pay it no attention. I'm like, whatever, I'm not gonna let that stop me from, this trip that's been planned for like 7 months now. So we're at the airport, me and the person that I'm going with. We at the airport, we got everything ready. We got our passports. We did the research. We didn't need visas or anything. So I'm checking in. I give them my passport, give them my luggage. They give me the boarding pass. I'm ready to go. She gave her a passport. She gave her luggage. And it starts to take a while. So I'm like, what's the hold up? The lady comes back and says she needs a visa. And the reason they said she needs a visa is because she's from the Caribbean or whatever. But I'm like, well, we did the research. We did the research online, called the embassy, all types of stuff. They didn't say nothing about no visa. So long story short, our flight was leaving like in 15 minutes. So we had to be very quick. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna put it like this. I told her that you can just get an e-visa. It'll probably be like right now, or worst come to worst, you'll just have to fly out tomorrow and we'll just have to link back up with each other. So I did that. I hopped on the plane. I was hopped in line, headed to my gate or whatever. And she texts me and she says she's not gonna make it because first of all, it was $300 and the process took 3 to 5 days. So just defeats the whole purpose. So I'm like, damn, we've been looking forward to this trip for so long and that just happened. So I'm sitting up here en route to go to the other part of the world by my goddamn self, and I'm feeling a little bit sick. So I'm like, damn. So the only good thing that happened with this first plane ride is that she wasn't there, so I had an open seat, so I was able to like get in fetal position and kind of lay down and stuff like that because it was a 15-hour flight. I make it to Shanghai, and we get off the plane and we're walking down this hallway, and there's 2 people above us like on a podium and type of thing. They got 2 monitors. It's like a video monitor and it's a video thermal monitor. That's like it show body heat signatures. So out of everybody, they point at me, they pull me to the side. I'm like, what's going on? And she said, I don't even know what she said, but she just pulled up this thermometer out of nowhere and put it in my mouth. I'm like, no, what the hell? And she said I had a very high temperature. So they pulled me aside again. They brought me to like the airport nurse's room or something like that. And they were taking saliva samples, my temperature, and me not knowing if you're sick and you get like a letter from the airport or something like that, they'll just send you back home and give you a refund. But I didn't know that, because if I would have knew that, I would have just did that. But I'm thinking they probably gonna say I'm too sick to travel or something like that, send me back home, no refund. So I'm just playing it off. I'm like, yeah, I feel fine. Yeah, that plane was real hot. I'm holding in my coughs and stuff like that, but low-key I feel terrible. So long story short, they ended up letting me go. And like, oh my god, the airport in Shanghai was so terrible. It took me hours. It took me hours just to get one bag. So long story short, when I ended up getting my bag, I walk outside and I'm like, damn, like ain't no Airbnbs here. I mean, not Airbnb, what do you call it? Uber. There's no Uber here. I don't know where the hell I'm going. I see a random dude. He like, taxi? Taxi? I'm like, yeah, taxi. So he told me to come here. Then I go up to him and he's like, taxi over there. So I look across the street over there. I don't see shit. And I'm pointing. I'm like, you mean this vehicle right here? It's like an ambulance vehicle. I'm pointing like, you this right here? He's like, no. Over there. He keep pointing like at nothing. So I walk across it, cause I'm at like a median. I'm in the middle of every thing right now. So I walk across the street again, and I'm across the street just sitting there like what am I waiting for, man? Like I don't see anything. So this dude, he come across. We walk up like 2 flights of stairs and stuff like that. We go into this dark ass parking garage. And I'm like, bro, I don't see no taxi here. We walk up to his car. He put his stuff in, put my stuff in his trunk, and we just leave. So I'm like, I don't know what kind of taxi services they got there, but it seemed like an Airbnb. I mean, I keep saying Airbnb. It seemed like an Uber. So he taking me to my hotel and stuff. I'm asking him. I'm like, okay, so how much is it? Because I only got like 100 something Chinese dollars or whatever. I forget the name of their currency, but I only had a certain amount of money, and he just told me it was metered. So I'm like, okay. So we get to the destination, and it come out to like 316 China bucks or whatever, and I only have 100 something plus American cash. So I'm like, I can give you this and give you some American cash. It's worth, more or whatever. But he really not trying to do that. He want that whatever, China ruble or whatever they call it. So we ended up going to an ATM, and I ended up being able to pay him. But in between all that, we were communicating back and forth through my phone. So for example, I'll say something like this, where's the nearest pizza place in the Mandarin?
最近的披萨店在哪?
And it'll say it like that, and we were just doing that back and forth with each other. And it was super weird because like this dude, he kept asking me like, what do you eat for dinner? And I'm like, I don't know, whatever's being made, burgers and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, okay. He asked me that like 3 times though. It's like, and it like not all back to back, but in our conversation he kept asking me that. Like I don't know if he was asking about American culture or what, but I was super confused. And long story short, he asked me, did I want a burger or some pizza? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm sick, so I'm not gonna be able to hold it down. But if you had some fruit or any type of liquids, man, that'd be good. Then out of nowhere, he was like, well, you have to buy that yourself. And I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to take things out of like everything is already out of context because we speaking through like translation apps on phones and stuff. So I'm like, all right, whatever. it was just super weird. Like, I don't know if this dude was trying to flirt with me or what, but I'm like, this is dropping me off, man. So I get to my hotel. I'm in Skeletor mode. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. And when I get into my hotel room, it's 2 bottles of water. So I mopped that water. That was like, man, you just don't understand how like drained I was. But it was no food or anything up in there. So that hotel had breakfast in the morning time, which I woke up 2 hours in advance just so I can be the first one in there to eat the breakfast. Not to mention that I watched this random YouTube video that talked about different breakfasts in different countries around the world and how different everybody's breakfast is. And I couldn't quite remember what they said for China's, but I kind of figured that, you know, the common denominator with breakfast between us will probably be like orange juice, fruit, maybe oatmeal, if anything grits or something like that. So I'm come breakfast time, I'm the first one up in there. I lift up the little metal thing. I see like old hot dogs. I'm like, what the hell? I look down, I see lettuce, tomatoes, rice, whole bunch of stuff I can't identify. Boiled brown eggs. I'm like super let down. I'm just sitting there like, bro, y'all don't have an apple, an orange, y'all don't have any eggs, scrambled eggs. Like, I'm so disappointed. Like, they had some nasty, dry, no butter, corn on the cob. It was just, the letdown was so real. Like, I wanted to cry. I just made a plate with lettuce, tomatoes. I tried one of them disgusting corn on the cobs, and I just sadly drug my feet back to my room. I ate what I could. It wasn't much, but I tried to get something in my belly, and it definitely sucked. So I hopped right back in my bed. Long story short, when it's time to check out and go back to the airport so I can hop on my Thailand flight, I ended up doing that. And to fast forward a little bit, I make it to Thailand now. So now that I'm in Thailand, I'm feeling a little bit better. I don't have the fever anymore, but I still got this disgusting cough, and I'm thinking about just, you know, calling in a trip like, hey, I made it to China, I made it to Thailand, I'm probably gonna spend a day here, and I'm probably just gonna bring it back home, because one, I don't really feel comfortable driving out there because they drive on the other part of the street, and on top of that they driving crazy. So that's just a lot to get acclimated to when you sick and you like dizzy and drowsy, you weak and sore. So I'm like, man, I'm probably not even gonna be able to make it to my Airbnb, because I booked this giant, lovely Airbnb that I wish I could have showed y'all, but I was like, man, I'm not gonna make it there. So the person that I was supposed to be coming with, I tell him like, hey, do you think you can just book my switch my ticket from the 13th to the 8th? So I was just gonna leave out on my birthday. And she was like, yeah, I'll do that for you. So her telling me that, I get on the app, the Airbnb app, I cancel that Airbnb. It was so sad because I didn't get nearly much back as how much I spent on that Airbnb, and it was just really heartbreaking. So tell me why right after, like minutes after I canceled my Airbnb, she hit me back up and she was like, hey, I can't get you a ticket for tomorrow, but the earliest I can do is the 12th. I'm like, damn, I already canceled my Airbnb. Now I have no place to stay. And the only reason I was even in a hotel is because the plan was for us to make it to Thailand. We sleep at a hotel near the airport, because our car rental is at the airport, and it will be ready the next day on my birthday. So we was gonna catch a taxi back, pick up the car, go to our big, lovely, lavish Airbnb and just have a blast. But she couldn't make it, cancel my Airbnb, only had a hotel booked for one night. So I'm like, screw right now. Not only am I by myself, I'm sick, can't drive, no transportation, nowhere to stay now. So I ended up having to book another night at the Airbnb. And that next day, now that's when the sickness kind of it kind of ramped up a little bit. I'm sitting up here coughing, and I coughed up like this nasty brown glop of something, and it felt like it was an alien coming out of my neck. I'm like, bleh, bleh, and it just popped out and splattered. It was just nasty, y'all. So at this point, I'm hitting up everybody I know, telling them my symptoms, because I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, what the hell do I have? What's going on with me? This ain't no regular cold. So people sending me back all types of stuff, and the stuff that I'm looking up is saying that I may have pneumonia, bronchitis, all types of nasty shit that I never had before and I don't know much about because I'm not a sickly person. So let me run this past you guys as well, so y'all can kind of feel what I was going through. So it's one of my friends at work, he ended up getting pneumonia. I'm really not too familiar with pneumonia. I know it's something bad. I know it's a sickness or whatever, but that's pretty much all I know about it. So when I heard he had pneumonia, I'm like, damn, well, hopefully he feels better. The next day, I see everybody in my break, everybody at my job in the break room, writing on a letter, a get well letter. Everybody signing it. So I'm like, who was that for? They was like, it's the same person, my friend or whatever. He's in ICU. So I'm like, damn, I did not know pneumonia was that serious. 3 days after that, they said this man died. He collapsed. He died for 12 minutes and he had to be revived. So at this point, I'm like, yo, I hope I don't got no damn pneumonia. So I'm like, all right, luckily I happened to pack a med kit. Well, the person that I was coming with, she packed a med kit, and I grabbed it from her before I left. Thank God. So I'm popping these pills. I'm trying to do what I can do to get back better and things of that nature. And everybody keep telling me to eat and stuff, because at this point I'm eating. It's a 7-Eleven across the street that I was going to, getting like apples and stuff like that. They was like, you need some real food. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make it an effort to get out here, do some walking around, hit a restaurant, and give me some food. So that's exactly what I do. I get up, I'm walking down the street. Man, I'm telling y'all, Thailand is such a beautiful place. I wish I could have got some more footage, but wasn't able to get too much footage. But anyways, I'm walking down the street. I get me this little green drink. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was delicious. The next door, I get a nice little Thai dish. I sit down. Right when I'm getting ready to chow down, I take a few bites, a few sips and stuff like that. All of a sudden, I get lightheaded. So I'm like, damn. The dude can't really speak English, so I'm signaling for him to come over here so I can get it to go and I can just walk back to my hotel. So I'm pulling out my money. I pay him. I move back to get up out of my seat. Then all of a sudden, boom! Like I passed the fuck out. Like fuck, I'm all over the place. My phone is on the other side of the room and stuff like that. I just get up on the ground like, what the hell just happened? People tripping. Some dude called the ambulance and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God. Not to mention, I'm sweating crazy. Like I'm sweating crazy profusely. Like my whole hat was wet. I didn't even notice at the time. I noticed it when I got back to my hotel. But anyways, the ambulance come and they checking my blood pressure and things of that nature, and they asked me did I want to go to the hospital. Part of me wanted to say yeah, part of me wanted to say no. I ended up not going to the hospital. I was like, I'm gonna go back home, I'm gonna take these pills, and I'm just gonna go straight to sleep, because it's a 12-hour time difference. So whatever I was walking around like at 4 p.m. or something around that time, well, it was 4 in the morning back home. So I don't know if it was because I haven't really been resting like that, plus not eating, plus it was hot, or whatever the case was. But anyways, ambulance come, they check me out, they take me back to the hotel. I get back to the hotel and I take off my hat. Notice my hat is soaking wet. I'm like, golly. Take off my shirt and I'm about to use the bathroom. I'm about to go number 2. So I pull down my shorts. I look, I'm like, are those Hershey stains I see? Is that chili? When I passed out, I fucked around and shitted on myself. I did not know I did that. I'm like, yo, after that moment, I booked my ticket. I'm like, nah, I can't be out here passing out because I ain't trying to be like, dude, pass out and just die or something like that. Plus, I'm by myself, so man, I didn't know what was going on. But after that, I ended up buying my ticket to go straight back home. After that, after I book my ticket, take my pills, and go to sleep, I wake up. I'm like, you know what? It's funny because it seemed like I needed to do that to feel better, because the next day I didn't feel too bad, and I made it a goal. I'm like, all right, I got these pills on deck. I'm feeling a little bit better, and like all I've been doing since I've been in Thailand is just laying in bed and just like looking out the window and stuff like that. And it was so beautiful. It was sad because I was just thinking about how long I've been anticipating this trip and the things that I'm supposed to be doing that I just simply couldn't do, man. I bought brand new lenses. I bought a new camera. I had my drone, GoPros, you name it, I had it. So I made it a point. I'm like, tomorrow I'm just gonna somehow find a taxi out here, and I'm going to at least go out and go shopping. I'm gonna try to. But it was iffy because I didn't want to just be out shopping and just be like, and start getting dizzy headed and then fall down the escalator or something like that. But so anyways, yeah, I go downstairs to the hotel lobby. I kind of set up this thing where I had my own private driver or whatever. I just paid him, he dropped me off, and he'll just come back after a certain amount of time or whatever. So I ended up going to what I thought was a mall, but it was more like kind of like a Walmart / swap meet, like something like that. And I bought a few cool souvenirs and stuff like that. And so basically that was the highlight of my trip. Just doing that little shopping and the ride there, actually getting to see the Thailand scenery, which was beautiful, man. Like, I wanted to cry, man. All the stuff I was missing out on, and people like, have you gone through this? Have you gone? I'm like, nah, man, I haven't been able to. I've been sick. But people, that's basically what happened with my story, man. That was my whole, that was my birthday right there. It was everything that could went wrong pretty much went wrong. Only thing that didn't happen, I ain't die. So, but other than that, that's what happened with my trip, y'all. I've been traveling all around the world for like the past 2 years. I really haven't uploaded anything to YouTube, and that's what I wanted to do for this trip. That's why I bought everything, to show y'all my experience. And it didn't really pan out, man. I've been to Australia, the Caribbean, all over the place. I do have old footage of that I'll be uploading to YouTube, but that's what happened with my my Thailand trip. I hope y'all enjoyed it, this video at least. And y'all make sure y'all stay tuned because I got more content coming. I will be going on another trip in July. It's the Caribbean. I've been there before, but still, I'll be doing different things. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, and I'll holla at y'all. Peace.